why are you using social media if it's not for business? It ruins your dopamine. You're comparing yourself to others. You're wasting time, not getting sunlight. Outside of using it for business, it's almost primarily negative. That's kind of how I started to see it. I understand like making friends and stuff because I've made friends on social media. Hello, this podcast, right? But I was using it for business already, and that was kind of a side effect, right? So I don't agree because I don't think you should be using social media to make friends all day. Like go outside and make friends, right? Go travel, go do stuff and make friends. If you're just on social media to make friends and socialize, I feel like there's better ways to accomplish that. So if you're not using social media for business, it's probably not the best fit, especially if you're listening to this podcast. Like, you know what I mean? So I disagree.
I think it's a little disingenuous.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the people are like, I'm just here to make friends. I'm just here to help. I'm just here to add value. To me, that speaks a bigger red flag than I'm here to sell you something, because it's disingenuous. I don't believe somebody can be here just to make friends, add value and help. And I really don't like it when I see in people's profiles, like automatic red flag.
Yeah.
For me, I'd rather you just sell me something.
Think of every big influencer ever. Are any of them on social media to make friends? You think Mr. Beast is like, I'm going to make a YouTube video to find friends today? Like, no. Right? So I don't think anyone's ever really grown that way. Ever. Name one person whose sole purpose was to grow and make friends. No, their purpose was to grow and either entertain, educate, sell something, right? But it's a business. If you want to be an entertainer, it's a business. So I don't think any creator should be on there to make friends. If you are a consumer, sure, not a creator.
Yeah, I don't understand it. We can make this part about takes we disagree. We could do that. Like stuff we disagree on. I want to say something I changed my mind on. If you give away the sauce for free, people will pay you to cook it for them. I was wrong. I do not think that is a good take anymore. Because when was the last time you got a ton of money from people? It's like, this is enough for you to do the thing and be like, let me just pay him, instead of like doing the thing that he just gave you the entire playbook. Eddie covered this on the spot. He gave away 2 emails, one which was really emotional and showing a case study, and another one which he gave the entire guide on how he runs his business. The emotional one that was a couple hundred words completely outperformed. Like the other one got no responses. This one got like 7 clients or something. So that is one take I had that I now really disagree with. Don't give everything away for free. Keep the good stuff inside. You make people emotional with your content, and then you give them the value behind closed doors. That is my opinion.
Yeah, I've adopted the same opinion. I try to give stuff away for free, but lately in my case studies, I've tried bolstering them a little bit and adding stuff. But I've realized that it doesn't change in performance. The only people that benefited from that are probably people that are trying to copy me or people that aren't really fit for my offer anyway. I try to do it out of the kindness of my heart. And, you know, as I've been in the game longer, I've gotten further and further up the knowledge ladder. So I feel like I can give away a little bit more from the bottom, stuff that I figured out a while ago. But yeah, I find it tough to give away strategies. I had a sales call 2 days ago, and long story short, he wasn't a fit for my offer, but I wanted to give him help anyway. I was asking for all of his numbers, his show rate, his follower conversion, everything, how many calls you're booking. And I was trying to give him pointers, but I really couldn't leak everything because I'm just like, I'd be doing a disservice by the people who do pay me by giving it away for free. Do you feel that way? Like you feel like if you just start giving everything away for free, what will the people inside think?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like it. I like to actually flip that dynamic. I feel like people treat prospects better than they treat clients. And I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
I think you should treat clients way better than you treat prospects. So a practical way of the way I'm doing this is, as you join the community, you have the portal with a bunch of trainings. And now I don't sell separate trainings to other people. I say, I'm going to run this training for my community. The example is I ran a training how to grow and monetize your account. If you want to buy a day pass, you can. And the interesting thing about this and how it kind of got some people interested in the community instead of just buying the day pass, which was $100 just for that one class that I did live, was along the document, I used to tell people, by the way, if you want more information on this, go to the portal, which by the way, day pass people don't have access to. If you want more access on this, go to the Slack channel on this that day pass people don't have access to. So I just think that you should treat clients way better. I don't believe in equal treatment. Treat people who give you money better.
You know what? I also think there's something to be said, the saying you can make your free stuff better than other people's paid stuff. I think you can actually accomplish that without giving away everything, all your secrets as well. Like if I think of Alex Hormozy, right? He kind of coined this term and made it popular. And his free stuff is better than most people's paid stuff, but he's still only giving away like 1% of what they actually do for companies, right? Like acquisition.com is huge on recruiting, right? They place crazy talent. They have SOPs. They have tons of stuff that they're placing into your business to grow it. They're not giving that away for free. All they're giving away for free is surface level knowledge for them. But if your surface level knowledge is so much higher than everyone else's peak knowledge, you can give away stuff that's free better than everybody else's paid stuff. Kind of how I was just saying, I can put more in my case studies now, which is my bottom of my totem pole information, because the top of the totem pole is so much further now. So if you just know more, you can still have free stuff better than people's paid stuff, while on still not giving away nearly anything close to what you're giving away for your paid clients. So I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, how I look at it is you give away the what, not the how. So if you wanted to look at it in practical ways, a good way to book calls fast is just DM people who engage with your stuff. You give away the what, but I sent out a video on the actual scripts that we use. I regret posting that video because then everybody started using the same scripts and I hated it. And it got like really common and it got me 0 clients, right? So I give away the what, use DMs for that, but I'm not going to give away the scripts, because then one is not fair for the people who actually gave me money for that script. And 2 is I'm actually not giving you a reason to work with me because I gave you the thing.
Yeah.
Like that's not the point of running a business. I'm not running a charity here.
Yeah. One way of how to mitigate like the need for scripts is just using scripts, not templates, but guides. So something that you already posted the video, so I could probably say this, but something that you taught me was like the 5 things, like the gap and the offer and the need for information, right? Stuff like that. Using that as guardrails for a conversation. But if you just are always being a human, it's more the actual DM setting skill is more of a conversation skill and a trait that you learn. And it's kind of like socializing more than scripting, just because, like you said, scripts are so saturated in general. Even with or without that video you posted, everyone's using the same scripts already. So it doesn't really matter to me. I think if you have the conversational skills that get better and better, your DM setting will get better. But I think what's important is having those guardrails and knowing how to identify where you're at in the conversation. Like if somebody's answering the second question, you're like, sure, book a call. Here's the link. Whoa. Do you lean in for the kiss after the first drink? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like that. So I think knowing how to identify where you're at in a conversation is like almost social awareness. And I know I've been training setters like a lot the last month. We onboarded 5 setters in 2 weeks, and I was just trying to teach them, like, you literally just have to be a human, like going to a bar. And one of the guys I hired is like, well, I actually just became of legal drinking age, so I've never been to a bar. I was like, all right, try to imagine it.
You know how I got my setter back in the day? He was my friend from college, and one day we're having dinner. It's like, yo, like look at these girls I'm talking to on Tinder, right? So he'd show me his Tinder. The smoothest operator I've ever seen on Tinder, bro. That guy he just closed everyone. I'm like, can you do that but for business in my account? Yeah. It's like, sure, how does it work, right? Like, it's a lot of social awareness. That is true, which you'd be surprised. A lot of people are actually quite socially competent. It's different than being an introvert. It's actually just not knowing how to react to social interactions. Yeah. It's like rare. Like every time, I love this. I don't know if I invented this quote, but I say it to me often. It's just because someone's an entrepreneur, that doesn't mean they're not retarded. So a lot of people are like that. And the few people that are not, you'd think it's common. It's totally not. And those people don't need the scripts. They just kind of, if you tell them kind of how to navigate the combo, they know what to do.
Yeah, well, I think 95% of the competition just doesn't have that social awareness. Like, you often hear this thing where it's like build rapport. And what does build rapport mean to someone who has social awareness and social skills and someone who's just trying to learn some scripts and learn how to make money? Well, you'll see, like, for example, and let's give some practicals, an amateur salesperson or DM setter will build rapport. They'll go in their profile and be like, wow, amazing work with likes and cash. Like, shut up. Right? And then someone that actually knows how to build rapport will look for something that they can specifically relate to, right? They'll go to JK's profile and maybe they relate with volleyball, maybe they relate with the anime, maybe they relate with the Guatemala, maybe they're Guatemalan. Like, oh, I'm from Guate. Oh my God. Like, oh, I played volleyball. Like, were you a libero or something like that, right? You see how that's much better at building rapport because you're like, oh, I haven't heard that in a while. I actually answered the only cold email I ever answered was the script or the subject line was, and because nobody really knows about this. Nobody really knows this about me on social media because I don't post about it anymore unless you do digging. And they said, Arsenal record broken or something like that. Like, I'm a diehard Arsenal fan. I don't tweet it that much. He put that in the cold email headline. I'm like, whoa, Arsenal. I don't get any Arsenal emails. And I ended up responding and letting them send me the loom pitch. And I ended up not doing it. But you get my point. Is 99%
You got farther.
People, yeah, 99% of people don't know how to actually build rapport. And I think that's a big takeaway for setting.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. When you posted the Toji gif, was that were you like baiting me? I'm like, damn, it's Toji.
No, I think it's just the first one you saw because I've been posting like anime. I guess
no, I saw the
Minato
Minato one.
Yeah. I just post whatever I'm watching at the time.
All right, good. Toji is it's an anime we're watching if you're new to the pod.
Yeah.
But if you want to see how we geek out about anime, the last 15 minutes of the last pod, we only talked about anime.
Yeah.
It was great. Best pod ever. But I want to keep going on this train. Takes that you disagree with on the consulting, coaching, marketing world. Do you have a few or should I go?
I could start. I think actually I saw this tweet from Jeremy Moser today, and it was like 99% of people won't succeed with IG shoutouts because they're already not interesting. They already don't have a lifestyle anyone wants, and they already don't have information that people don't need. And I think there was this time where people were very against paid outreach, and paid traffic on Twitter. And I think Twitter is just, and I saw actually your partner Ryan Booth tweet this. He was like, IG shoutouts are okay. Facebook shares are okay. Everything else is okay. What's the problem with retweets? Everyone was like, And I think it's like an infant platform, to be fair. It's like a much younger than the rest of these platforms. But the point I want to make here is that if you don't have an interesting offer, an interesting lifestyle, an interesting background, interesting things to say, there's no amount of paid ads that are going to help you if you can't succeed organically. So I think that's an important note, because I think some people try to you could start with paid and go straight to paid. That's true. But if you don't have a good offer, a good lifestyle, a good brand or anything like that, it won't work. And I think organic is a good litmus test for people to see if that kind of thing is going to work.
Oh, what you said the word interesting. Like, to delve on that, very few people think of themselves as interesting, even though they are. So we've all had this kind of experience where we tell a story, and the thing that we find most interesting about the story is not the one that the audience think is the most interesting about the story sometimes, right? So they'll harp on small details that we didn't even seem relevant, right? So often I find that happens with content. We overestimate what people will find interesting. We think we need big case studies, big events, when in reality it's the small things that people like. They want to know how you set up your Loom and Zapier automations, and they want to know how you come up with hooks. This is why, I think we covered this a few times, but my most popular YouTube video, it's a Loom video of me kidnapped. Like, it looks like a kidnap, bro. Like, I'm in the middle of a dark room, shitty lighting. People like me doing like my Loom stuff. It's because we overestimate what people will find interesting. It can be as simple as just hit and record on what you're already doing. I covered this in the last one too, but I went on a coaching call and only one guy showed up, and we're like, okay, Robert, do you have any questions for me? Or do you want me to just share my screen and work? Like, bro, share your screen. I'm like, I just went. Very productive hour. And at the end, he's like, this was great. Thank you so much. Like, I really enjoyed this coaching call. I'm like, great. I was going to do this anyway. But I'm like, I'm glad you enjoyed this. We overestimate what people find interesting. So everybody's got, I don't want to say everybody, because there are losers exist and you should avoid them. But if you listen to the Lex and Cash podcast, you're a winner. So believe in yourself and just share your work.
I also think, and this is when I'm vetting clients to bring into the birdhouse, like, I don't look at if a brand is interesting to me. I just think, can it be interesting to somebody? So I think part of it is knowing if you're interesting to somebody, or if there's some demographic that you can be interesting to, right? I think you mentioned him a while ago, I wouldn't find that stylist coach interesting. Personal. Would I still take them as a client? Maybe, because I have to see, are they interested by, it's anybody interested? Is there a market for it? And I think one way you can look at that is like looking at competitors, doing like a competitor analysis. You showed me recently, it was like you had a coaching call, and basically the person had this offer that was abysmal. It was terrible. They had no one, who was going to buy this? Nobody. And I'm like, that's what I do essentially for my agency. I look at somebody's offer and I'm like, is anybody going to buy this? If it's really bad, I'll just cancel the call off my account. If it's really bad, like someone will be in there and be like, I help digital businesses get digital. I'm like, all right. But if it has legs, like anything potential, I'll take the call. And then if I'm like, I could do something with this, I'll make an offer. So it kind of goes through those 3 phases. But yeah, I saw you did that. And I think that's important because you don't have to be Amazon to be successful. You could just be interesting to some people and charge the right amount and make 6 or 7 figures. That's just my take on that.
Right. It's like a chain. Like you're a link on the chain. There's people ahead of you and behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So the job is not, you feel like you're irrelevant or the last link of the chain because you're only looking forward. But there's people who have achieved less things than you that would love to be in the position you're in. Wiz of Ecom had a great tweet. Remember that a year ago, you were praying for the things you have today. So talk to the people from a year ago. You know what I'm like notoriously bad at over and over? I've been like failing at this record is seeing opportunities in niches. Bro, like I covered this in the Dan Co pod. I always told Dan Co not to get on YouTube because it wasn't his thing. Can you imagine that shit? Like, horrible take. Devin, dude, this guy's making like, I don't know if I want to disclose, but he's making good money. He's selling 5K quit porn coaching. People pay him $5,000 for 3 months of quit porn coaching. And that was wild to me. Like I did tell him, brother, like, why don't you just do copywriting or something? Like quit porn coaching, like just turn off your screen, bro. Like that's it. But he's making good money. There's another one that joined the program. Bro, did you know that there's a huge community on Twitter of math teachers?
No.
And people coach math teachers on how to teach math better, and they make really good money. If you would have told me that was a thing, I would have just told you, fuck that. Like, that's not a thing. But people are making really good money with it. We're surprised by what makes money.
That is fun. Yeah, and that's part of it too, is like looking at markets. Like that might not be $100 million market. Like for me, that probably wouldn't be a good offer for my agency because I don't think I can scale that to $1 million. But can it make $200,000 a year? 300, 400? Probably. So I think that's interesting. I look at this. There's another example. I think it's Ben Bader. He was marketing for basketball coaches, and he was just helping basketball trainers get clients. I'm like, that's a good market. You could make 6 figures in it. And then he switched, and now he's making way more.